Okay, we are still. I'm going to figure some of this stuff out. So if you'll just bear with me for a second while I finish this up. It should be broadcasting live, so we're going to take a look and see if we have anybody else here, and just make sure that we can see everything. So just sit tight, and we'll get to it. Let's see here. Looks like we do have a couple of people viewing. I need to make sure I can see questions from them. For those of you watching the recording of this, I want to apologize for the technical delay. Just sit tight, and this will fire off just a second. That's much better. Okay. I know we do have one viewer. I'm trying to figure out, there's supposed to be a way for you to be able to ask questions. I don't exactly know how that's supposed to happen, but anyway, I'm just going to get rolling, and we'll go from there. If you are on now and you would like to ask questions or anything, just type it into the chat box, and I will use that as the way to answer questions and things like that. So feel free to jump in and ask questions that way, and we'll roll through it that way. So hopefully that'll work. I don't know exactly if the chat. If you're viewing from the help.plusthis.com page, I think to be able to ask questions, there's a link there that you have to click in order to make that happen. So we will jump into that as soon as we do. So I don't have my presentation that I wanted to do, like the PowerPoint today, so I'm just going to dive in and show my screen and talk about some changes that we've made to PlusThis, and take you through that, and then we'll see whether the YouTube Events Live actually works out for us as well as we want it to moving forward. So let me flip on my screen share, and let's go to here, and so we've got my thing being shown. I want to make sure I have this thing set up right. So, okay, so I'm gonna jump into my PlusThis account. First of all, I'd like to point out Firefox has this cool new interface with the menu, which I think is pretty sweet. So take a look at that. Let's jump into PlusThis account and just jump right to it, so we don't waste a bunch of time here. So first of all, I want to point out we've changed some things around in the feature library. First of all, we've organized things a little bit better, so that instead of it being just a bunch of first features set up all over the place, they're organized by the main functionality. So GoToWebinars by itself, Smart Links are by themselves, Split Testing is together, YouTube and video tracking is together, SMS messaging, and then we've changed the rest of those features. A lot of the features that a lot of people use, we've changed it and buttoned them up under what we're calling the Implementers Toolkit, and so that's where you'll find things like the cycler. The cycler actually is the only thing that moved. The cycler switched places with the YouTube playlist, so you can take a look at that. Now, speaking of the cycler, I know I've had some questions this week about the cycler, and so I'm going to do a little presentation on the cycler today, so that we can get some info on that. So let's go to Infusionsoft here and take a look at the cycler. The cycler is something that actually is not that complicated of a thing to set up. It's something, once you get sort of the concept and get how it works, it actually makes a lot of sense and it works out pretty well. So I'm going to come in here to Infusionsoft and we'll set it up this way. So I want you to imagine, first of all, that you have a series of you have some content in your library. You sell products and whatever you do, and you want to be able to dynamically send appropriate content to the person that needs it. So for the example that I like to use is you have a series of 3 products, and you want to be able to upsell all of the products. So someone buys product 1, and you want to upsell products 2 and 3. So you want to make sure that whenever anybody buys anything, they'll be upsold the other 2 products, but not the product that they just bought, or not any products that they've already purchased. So what happens is inside of Infusionsoft, in Campaign Builder, you'll set up a series of those sequences, and I think actually I might have a demo for the cycler. I think this might be, yeah. So basically what happens is we have product purchases, right, for product A, B, and C, 1, 2, 3, and then you have the upsell process for products A, B, and C. And what you want to do is upsell the content for each one of these, and you want to basically make sure that they are upsold the other 2 products, but not any products that they've already purchased. So that's kind of, I'm kind of dragging on about that. So in plus this, the way you'll set this up is you'll say, I want to say first of all, does somebody have should they be getting product A, B, or C? So you can see interest A, B, and C. Should I market this product to them? A lot of times we'll use this as like a category indication, meaning is somebody in this category of people, and therefore should I be sending this content to them because they bought that particular that product, or they bought in that category of people? Okay. But not necessarily individual products this way. So for 3 products, what I would normally set up is just going to be we'll set up interest tag for product A, and then a start sequence tag, which is I want to upsell product A, which basically just indicates I want to send them this sequence if they have the interest tag and we haven't already started it. And we'll do the same thing for product B, interested in product B, and we're going to upsell product B. Nope, not C, but B. And then same thing for product C. Interest product C, and then upsell product C. Now, what I've basically told Infusionsoft to do, or Plusthis to do at this point, is to, when this process is run, so at the end of each one of these dealios here, there will be an HTTP post that runs this feature. What I'm telling Plusthis to do is to look and see, first of all, does the person that's in this sequence have the interest product A tag? Okay, and if they do, I want to look and see, do they also have the start sequence tag, which is product upsell product A? Because if they do have that tag, that would indicate that they've already gotten the upsell information for that product. Okay, which means I don't want to send it again. So at that point, it's going to skip. It'll skip that particular product, and it's going to move to the next one. And it'll look and see, okay, do they have interest for product B? And say, for example, they don't have the interest in product B tag, meaning they bought one product but they would not be interested in product B. Well, it'll skip that step completely because they're not interested in it. It'll move to the next one. Do they have interest in product C? Yes. Do they have the upsell product C sequence tag? No. Great. Okay, we're going to start that sequence and then run them through. And then in Infusionsoft, what you need to make sure that you do is at the end of each one of these sequences as well, you have to run the HTTP post, because that's going to be part of starting it over and putting them through the whole process. So imagine if you had 10 products, okay, and you wanted to upsell all the products they hadn't purchased yet, or maybe you had 100 products, right? Instead of creating this massive, I'll actually show you what it looks like. Okay, so just imagine those 3 products, right? We want to upsell those 3 products, and we want to make sure that they only get upsold what they haven't bought and what they haven't been sent yet. Here's how you have to set it up in the Campaign Builder using Decision Diamonds in order to achieve that. I'm going to zoom out so you can see the whole thing. And I'm not kidding you at all with this. Okay, purchase product A, B, or C. First thing I got to do is decide, have they already purchased products A, B, or C in the past? Okay, and obviously you might get rid of this one up here, but basically product A, upsell product A, and then we need to make sure, okay, have they purchased each one of these? Do I need to send it to them? And then again, all the way out. You basically have to set up these 3 decision diamonds all the way out. You can imagine if you have more than 3 products, it would be ridiculous. It's outrageous. So that's basically the way to create those dynamic libraries of content. And I like to use the example of upselling products in that way, but it doesn't have to be that. It could be dynamic libraries of content for just about anything. So that would be what you would be wanting to do for that particular thing. So I want to go back to Plusthis and go to the feature library and just show you one thing that's been added that you may not know about. It's this YouTube playlists video tracking, and I want to show you kind of how this works. So I'm going to go to playlists here. I have a playlist that I created that you'll never actually see because it's not the way it works. But and what you'll do is you'll take this playlist and you're going to take the embed code and drop it into this feature, just like, I don't know why it's opening up a link. Anyway, drop it into the embed code section, and then it finds the playlist. Now, there's a distinct difference between this YouTube video tracking playlist tracking, and the way that the other video tracking works, because the other video tracking, it tracks when somebody has reached a certain point in the video. So they watch they watch through the video, and then at a certain point it drops a tag when they hit that point. Well, it could be that somebody watches and skips over that point in the video, and so the tag never gets applied. And so it's important to that's just something to keep in mind. Now with this feature, it works a little bit differently. Instead of waiting until someone hits a certain point, it actually counts up the number of seconds that someone actively watches any of the videos in the playlist. So in this instance, I've got these 3 videos. One of them is 1:30, one of them is 4 minutes, one of them is 2 minutes. So that's a total of 7.5, 8.5 minutes, 7.5 minutes, actually closer to 8. And I just want to know, okay, of those 7.5 minutes, I want people to I want to basically say when people watch, let's say 5 minutes worth of the videos in here, that will count them as having watched in that playlist. So I put in the seconds, and this basically says if once somebody has been watching any video in that thing, in that process, it will it'll track that. So somebody could watch 5 seconds or a minute of video 1, 2 minutes of video 2, and then 2 minutes of video 3, and that would count. Or somebody could technically watch the same 30 seconds over and over and over and over again. But if somebody is watching that video that many times, it's engagement, right? It's how long are they actually watching the video. And just like with the other one, with the other feature, you can add as many of these as you'd like to the process. So it looks like I do have a couple of viewers. I am really curious as to whether or not this is actually broadcasting correctly, and whether or not you're seeing, you're able to ask questions or anything like that. So I'm going to actually toss my screen up here. I'm going to come back to webcam mode here for a second and show my pretty face. And I'm going to see if I can't figure out why that is not allowing me to. When I tested it before, there was a way for me to allow people to ask questions, and I don't see it in the controls here. So I'm just going to kind of dive through here and see if I can't figure out where that happens. Nope, not there. Let's go to this guy. Nope. Well, I don't exactly know how that's going to happen. We'll have to figure it out for next week. I really like having the Hangout, having our jam sessions this way, because it allows me just to say, everybody, you don't have to get a link from me to join the jam session. You can just jump on the help site and check it out there. So so I do like that. In fact, let me go to the help site and show you how that works, so that you can see that whole thing and see where the jam sessions are for the future and things like that. So we go. Oh, it's up here. I apologize. The first time doing this, there's always going to be a little bit some kinks. So I apologize for the kinks that are causing us to have to deal with this stuff. So start screen share. Perfect. All right. So again, if we go back to the help site, help.plusthis.com, you'll notice, first of all, I've set up some getting started videos over here for people that have just joined. And then down in the lower right-hand corner is the jam session section. You'll see all the replays are going to be down here, and then the top link will just be whatever the next jam session is, and then you can just click that link and go to it. In fact, let's see if this, I might break something here, but let's see what happens when I actually go to this link. So I can click play, and I think my volume is muted, but that's okay. So as I go through, I think there's a little bit of a delay, but yeah, it's not letting me go and ask questions to it, which is, I wonder if I come here and I add a comment. Let's see if there's any comments here. No, I don't want to do that. Oh, I guess I'm logged in right now, so that wouldn't help me at all. Well, anyway, I'll have to figure this out later. But that's basically what I want to talk about the cycler today. We talked about video tracking, and I wanted to show you the differences. Looks like questions didn't really get worked out the way that I wanted them to, but hopefully by next week we'll have the kinks worked out on this. And part of it too is I'm in Arizona, so that can play into things. I think next week I can sit at my desk and have everything figured out. So apologies for those of you that didn't get to see this. If that happened or if it didn't work out the way that you wanted to, we'll figure it out for next week. But we'll call it a day for this time. Thanks, everybody. See ya.